Oh, see, I messed up. I literally messed up. I didn't go to my title screen, but guess what? We're just going to go for it anyway. My name is Garrett Sims. This is the podcast. It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Son of a biscuit, it's Thursday. Look at that. We're already cracking ourselves up right now. I said I've been trying to be more segment-oriented. I think that's going to help me stay on topic, and I think that's going to make this a little bit more interesting for everybody. So we're going to open up Thursday with a segment I like to call Throw It Back. Oh, yeah, right there. So today's Throw It Back is a throwback to today's date, and it was a year ago today, actually, March 11th, 2020. And a year ago today, actually, I got to go to the Capitol with my football team to celebrate our state championship, which was a really awesome experience. I was honored to go. We got to meet the governor. I actually got some pictures with him. I do have those somewhere. I should have been more prepared and had those ready. We got to walk in on this hearing. I think it was part of the Missouri House of Representatives, and we actually walked in this hearing. So we're setting up on this top booth. There's two booths at the top, and we're sitting here, and there's a whole thing going on, and we're watching everybody just kind of sit there and go through this argument. And they're talking about a law that would prevent people from hurting their dogs and preventing animal cruelty. Wow, we can't speak today, but animal cruelty. And so the people next to us that were sitting next to us were cheering as it's going on because they are ruling in favor of what they stood for. And all of a sudden we were I don't know if I clap or I don't, because this is a House of Representatives meeting right now. And I'm sitting here do I clap? And then the Speaker of the House starts banging his gravel, and he's can the top deck please be quiet? And I was oh, we're not supposed to clap. It was an amazing day. We were treated to some Pizza Hut and some ice cream, which can't go wrong with that, after meeting the governor and several members of our Congress and legislators, stuff like that. So that was a really fun day. And that's Throw It Back. I said on Tuesdays and Thursdays, guess what? It's time to list them up. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 5 quarterbacks in this year's NFL draft. And I was going to talk about something else. I decided, listen, I'm going to save it for tomorrow because I was in an argument with somebody about who was better between Zach Wilson and Justin Fields. So I was here we go. We're going to do top 5 quarterbacks of this year's draft. Mainly, I'd rather do top 3 because I'm not as confident in my 5th and 4th as I am the rest of my list. But at number 5, I have Mac Jones. He's an okay guy, okay quarterback. I think he's going to be kind of one of those guys. I think he can be a manageable quarterback. Kind of reminds me a lot of Drew Lock. Comes from Alabama. I think that brings a lot of discipline, and he's won a national championship multiple times, as a backup and a starter and stuff like that. So I think that makes him very valuable. Number 4, I got Trey Lance. I might sound crazy with this. I think Trey Lance is really good. Mobile, great arm. Think he could be a sleeper pick. I think he'll probably go to Washington. That's my pick for him to go. But I think it's very interesting. I think he's number 4 on my list. And number 3, Zach Wilson. And this is where we're going to get a little bit more controversial. Not because it's actually controversial, but because, this is where a lot of people's lists change. I have Zach Wilson at 3. Listen, he had one good year at BYU. You look at his freshman and sophomore year, they were kind of, good at moments, a little bit injury prone. He's a little bit too eager to leave the pocket, I think, sometimes. So I think that plays into a big role. You have to have pocket presence. That's something in the NFL that you either have to have or you have to develop, or, so he's good. But listen, let's not sit here and try to be one good year is going to get you the second best quarterback in the draft. He is not the second best quarterback in the draft. I didn't even know who the dude was until this year. I don't think a lot of people knew who he was until this year. With that being said, number 2 is Justin Fields. He was the second highest rated quarterback out of high school. He was fighting with Trevor Lawrence to be the number one quarterback coming out of high school. They were the top recruits. I get it. Sometimes top recruits don't necessarily transition well from high school to college to the NFL. But I'm telling you right now, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, they got routed by Alabama. But the dude showed a lot of heart. And I don't have to show you the video of him getting nailed in the ribs by number 47, the linebacker. I can't say his last name. That's why I'm not even trying to pronounce it. But I don't have to show you that video to know what it is. There's a lot of guys I don't think they could take that hit. That was a brutal hit. And that game spoke volumes to me. It proved what type of character Justin Fields has. He's got a lot of heart. And a lot of people are saying Zach Wilson has more talent, which I disagree with entirely. I don't think he has quite a bit as talent at all. But even if you made the argument that Zach Wilson has better talent, I will take a player with a much harder work ethic and a lot more heart, because you can teach a lot of things. You can't teach heart. Heart's just one of those things that you can't do anything about it. They either have it or they don't. And I think Justin Fields is going to be a heck of a guy. I think whatever situation he goes to, I think he's going to be ready to learn. It makes sense for me to say that the Jets need to draft him. Robert Saleh he's going to be a heck of a coach. I can tell you right now, for what he did in San Francisco, he's going to be a heck of a coach. Justin Fields is going to put his headphones on. He's going to listen. If he has to sit out 1 year, he'll sit out a year. The dude's just too talented, too good, way too much heart to pass up on. I think he's the second best quarterback in this draft. Then number one, I think that's clear, convincing, and obvious. It's Kyle Trask. What can't I say? Oh, I'm just messing. I'm just goofing. I'm just goofing everybody. It's Trevor Lawrence. He is a prodigy. That's the term that I would define. You got prospects and you got prodigies. And this is the difference between Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, he's a prospect. Trevor Lawrence is a prodigy, and Justin Fields is somewhere in between. He's kind of polished, but yet he's kind of not at the same time. Like, he's a little bit raw talent, a little bit polished. He falls in the middle. What can I say about Trevor Lawrence? He's special, all sorts of special. Can be really mobile when he has to be. Strong pocket presence. Can fling it. Can be mobile if he has to. Natural born winner. Won a natty with Clemson. The dude's just a winner, and he's been starting a lot of games for Clemson, and I 100% agree. I don't think there's anybody that has an argument to be made that Trevor Lawrence is definitely the number one quarterback in this draft. So that is list them up for Thursday. Today on Sims' Spotlight, me and my roommate were talking, and we had an interesting conversation. And this isn't necessarily going to be the most interesting thing to talk about. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it'd be more interesting to talk about with somebody, instead of saying what motivates you, or like, how do you do this, how do you do that. We're going to talk about my headline, my spotlight of the day: Starbucks, more like Star Yuck. Yeah, I just said that. I'm not a big fan on like talking highly of Starbucks, and it's not because I don't like Starbucks. I think they're okay. It's okay coffee at high prices, and if you ask anybody that's like, "Oh, I love Starbucks," they're gonna be like, "I just can't not have it." That's what they're like. Like, anybody that drinks Starbucks on a daily basis, A, you're wasting money, and B, you're just insane. I'm going to be proved wrong. I could be proved wrong tomorrow. Me and my roommate are going to go try Starbucks. I've been trying to drink more coffee and kind of like my diet, because I think not only does it... Sometimes I drink the caffeinated coffee, sometimes I drink decaf. That really doesn't matter to me. I don't really get energy from it. I like it because honestly it gets the old bowels moving in the morning, if you know what I mean. That's really what it has to do with it. And I've been drinking our coffee that we get for free at our dining hall. That's with our meal plan. I've been drinking that, and I'm like, that's not bad at all. Like, I don't get it. Maybe it's kind of like, as coffee gets more expensive, it goes down a little bit smoother. It has a little bit better of a taste or a richer taste. I really don't know. And that brought up the conversation that we had. Would you rather pay $5 a cup at Starbucks, or would you rather get the 90-cent or 50-cent coffee from a gas station? And I'm sitting there like, if you truly just drink coffee for the benefits of it, I think you go with the cheap coffee any day. It may not taste as good. You can always put creamer in it. You can always put sugar. You can always do stuff like that to make it more enjoyable. But at the end of the day, I'm baffled by how many people think, oh my God, I'm going to go to Starbucks. I'm going to go spend so much money on a coffee that I don't really think's great, and I'm probably going to make a lot of people mad right here because, hey, we're talking about coffee. But I think Dunkin' Donuts is better. I've had Dunkin' Donuts a few times just because, like, my mom and my sister are coffee drinkers. And, sometimes you, like, take a little drink or something like that. And I think I enjoy Starbucks. Or, see, I'm messing up. See, God, we can't do podcasts tonight because then I just mess up. I enjoy Dunkin' way more than I like Starbucks. I've always kind of laughed at the idea of Starbucks because I just don't think it's so... I just think it's so crazy to pay so much for a cup of coffee. And that's where I stand on that. That was a very short segment. Hopefully Sims' Spotlight is not that short. But as of that is Sims' Spotlight for the day. Last but not least, we're heading into spring break. I've talked about it a lot. I feel like I've talked about it a little bit too much. I talk about it every day because that's what excites me nowadays. In a world where I have to worry about what exam I have this morning, it's nice to think about when I get a break. And the weather other than the past 2 days has actually been really great. Hasn't really been a cloud in the sky. Beautiful. I love a day when it's just no clouds, blue. You can just walk around in shorts and a t-shirt. You can feel comfortable, enough of the breeze not to sweat. And that brought the question for me because when spring happens for me, I love to be outside. And I know there's people that don't like the outside. But, like, for me, I think about all the activities we do outside. Like, this time of year is when I go fishing a lot. And I'm not a great fisherman. I suck at it. But, I do it for fun. Because what else is there really to do? You could ball up at the courts. I suck at basketball, so that's really not an option. Actual fun fact here for you. I don't get picked. I suck so bad, I literally don't get picked to play. And if I do, I just stand at the corner and I just sit there and like, hey guys, pass me the ball. I could be wide open and they still won't pass it to me because there's like a 5% chance I actually make it, which, if you consider that I've never played basketball in my life other than like a pickup game or something like that, I think that's a pretty good statistic. So critical thinking for the day is what is truly better? And this is going to be interesting just to see how this unfolds for me. Is being outside better or being inside better? Because I know there's people that love the inside. I know they like to just sit down, and sometimes it's just about enjoying being inside, and watching TV, relaxing, playing video games, maybe hanging out with a family or hanging out with friends. All that type of stuff. Is being inside better or is being outside better? I know that's like a crappy question to ask because I think I would know how most people would truly answer this. I think being outside is definitely the way. I'll tell you right now, I love being outside. I've already stated that too much, but I just don't think you can get any better than a nice, crisp noon to afternoon / more. Just so nice and crisp of a day. Like, you can breathe in the air and you're just like, wow. Like, you can just tell. Like, I wake up in the morning and I just open the window. I'm like, I can tell automatically, like, what type of day it's going to be. And it's just beautiful right now. So enjoy the weather. Enjoy everything. I'm sorry. This was a little bit short. That's critical thinking. As of that's for the podcast. Real quick, we're going to wrap things up. Normally, critical thinking is where we're going to wrap up. But I just want to talk about what's going to happen Tomorrow, hopefully, I'm going to podcast. I'll be on my way home tomorrow. Hopefully get back, so it'll probably be another late one. I'm probably going to start doing more recordings. I think that makes a lot more sense for me. In case I have blunders or mess-ups, maybe I could record an intro and then throw it all together. I don't know. An idea that I've had, because I know my friends aren't going to watch my podcast. I hope they do. Chances are they probably will not. My friends have a group called the Beefers. Very, very open about that. And I was gonna kind of have like a David Dobrik / Mr. Beast type giveaway. And what I was gonna do is we're gonna have a video called Meet the Beefs, and each one's going to be meeting every one of my friends. So in case they ever decide to come on, they'll have a video. And what's gonna happen is there's 13 of us. Whoever decides to do a video can do a video. I don't care. But after everyone's video has been uploaded, I'm gonna give them like 2 or 3 weeks. And at that point, they can do whatever they want to do. If they want to make multiple YouTube accounts and keep watching their video, or they just want to go out and say, hey, watch my video, or just put it out, whichever beefer has the most views by the end of a certain point, I'm going to give away like a prize. And I'm not 100% sure what that's going to be. I'm not going to say it just in case like they actually look at this video and they're like, oh, he said this, so we're expecting this. I have an idea what it's going to be, and that's just if they agree to do it. If over 6 of them agrees to do it, then I'll be like, okay, listen, we'll get it done. But hopefully I film those over spring break. Basically what it's going to be is they're going to introduce themselves. I'm going to give them a list of questions that involve the beefers, kind of like would you rather, or if you would be this character, who would you be and why, and then maybe throw in a little bit of trivia. I hope that's really interesting because I think it's super interesting. I'm always coming up with new segments every day. Actually, I got this cool little book here. Got it for free. It says, don't be afraid. I don't know why it says that. It's not Halloween. There's like a witch and stuff. It's kind of weird to me. I don't really get it. It's given to us for spring break, but this is where I put a lot of my ideas. And so that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. If there's anything I can do to make this a little bit better, trust me, I'm working on it, but I'm open to all the suggestions. As for that, I will see you tomorrow on Fun Friday. My name is Garrett Sims, and this